Well, welcome once again to Calaveras Living. Now, you see a poster. You know, things are happening in Mountain Ranch. I talked to some people up there. It's a pretty active community. But it says a third annual Mountain Ranch has, well, I should be a voiceover expert, but I'm not. It says Mountain Ranch has even more talent. And the show is coming up on March 29th at the Town Hall. And this is a third annual, and I guess it's getting better all the time. But we're going to talk today with Susie Russin and Jim Pasout. I said it right.
You did.
He has unusual spelling to his name, but it's good to see you both.
Thank you.
You're pretty much the people behind the show, right?
Jim is behind the show.
I'm helping organize it. There's a lot of people behind the show.
Yeah.
It takes a village to raise this village, and it's a lot of people involved in it.
Well, I'm going to zip this down while we talk here. But this is the third annual.
Yes.
Right? Okay. And what was the title for the first one, Jim?
Mountain Ranch has talent.
And what was the title for the second?
Mountain Ranch has more talent.
And now we have
Mountain Ranch has even more talent. And the next one, I'm not really sure what it's going to be.
Well, is the population growing there, or are people just becoming more talented?
That's a very good question.
I don't know that the population's growing in Mountain Ranch. It's still a pretty small community.
What is the population there?
It depends on which sign you read.
That's true of Murphy's, too. It's different at different ends of the town.
You know, I think the signs outside of town say there's about 150 people there.
Okay.
But they're just
about 2,500 in the
they're counting
larger areas.
Oh, it's in the metropolitan area.
In the metropolitan area, yes.
That's right.
It's very spread out.
Now,
So.
have you, both of you or either one of you, worked on these talent shows before?
The scholarship committee has been raising funds in a number of different ways, but we started this about 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. Actually, I don't know if this was a good thing or a bad thing. I went to a scholarship meeting and I said, you know, I heard that Moke has a talent show and raises money for their scholarship, for their scholarships. I think we would be able to do that. And since I was the one who brought it up, I wound up organizing it. So,
that was his first mistake.
You've quit talking at meetings now.
Well, we talk a lot about raising funds because that's basically what we do. We raise funds and give out scholarships.
Now, how long has the scholarship fund been around, Susie?
It started in about 1971, and there was a young man who was killed in a plane accident. And some of the members of the local community decided to start a memorial fund in his name, and they were looking for a way to use that money to memorialize him, and somebody suggested scholarships for the students from Mountain Ranch.
Oh, good.
And Polly Sender of Sender's Market was one of the founding members, and she described how they realized that the money may not always be a large amount, but it was the moral support that they wanted to offer the students, and it was based on their memory of this young man who died in this plane crash.
Oh, that's good. That's certainly a good start to that. Now, has it generally gotten to be a larger fund each year?
It's gotten larger over the years, some years more, some years less, but we have been able to give anybody who fulfills the requirements for the fund. We have been able to give every single student some money. It averages about $500 now per student.
That's good.
And we have an average about 6 students a year who apply and receive the scholarship. Almost everyone who applies will get some money if they.
Oh, these are high school seniors?
These are high school seniors, and what they have to do is they have to fill out a request, and that request comes from their school counselor, and right now it's Terry Tanner at Calaveras High School, so they go get an application from her. They have to fill out this form, which requires some explanation of what they think they might want to do with their furthering their education. And that can be anything from trade school to cosmetology to a AA degree, which is a 2-year degree, or a 4-year degree. They have to have a 2.5 average, but even if they don't have that, if they can achieve that in their first semester at their school, we will retroactively give them money. So they get interviewed by the committee, and then we have a formal presentation of the scholarships towards the end of their senior year.
Okay, now besides the admission prices to the talent show, what other sources of money do you have to fund their scholarships?
We have done something called History Worth Repeating prior to this with Wally Motlock and Phil Abbott, who very generously donated their time in history of our area. And that sort of evolved into the talent show because they are no longer available to do that. We send out a regular old by the mail request for funds in an envelope, and we ask people to donate.
That's people both in Mountain Ranch and outside Mountain Ranch?
It is what we would call the greater Mountain Ranch community.
Okay.
So it is people who live here part-time, it is people who live here full-time, it is people who have lived here and left. Anybody that we think would have an interest in helping our students.
Even people outside the Beltway, huh?
We have people from Washington, D.C., we have people from the East Coast, we have people from all over California. And when we were sending out the envelopes, we were looking at the addresses, and it's really a wide range.
Mostly former residents?
They usually have some connection to Mountain Ranch, or their grandchildren had something to do with Mountain Ranch. It's quite amazing.
Well, that's good.
So.
Now, Jim, you're ostensibly the producer of the talent show. So, how do you go about getting talent? You don't go out. You don't go outside. What are you laughing about?
Well, when we first started out, I went to a community club meeting and I said, "Okay, you guys, your neighbors have talent, and you have talent. Your daughters have talent. Your dogs have talent. Write down the names of everybody who has talent, and we'll contact all of them." And we got a flood of people who gave up everybody. Yeah, they
gave up each other.
They gave up everybody in their families and in the neighborhood and all of Mountain Ranch. And so I just called them up and said, "Hey, so-and-so says that you have talent, and we'd like to have you in the show."
Was that the year we had the dog?
Oh yeah, we even had a performing dog. Moko did a dog act in the show, and we had plenty of good talent in the very first show. In the second show, we just used that fund of information and went out and asked other people whether they'd be in the show, and we came up with another whole full program of acts.
Good.
This year, we're starting to get some people who were in the first show and putting them back into the show. They've been hanging in the sidelines for a while, and now we have them in, and we have new people into the show.
You ever turn anybody down?
Well, we made a decision early on. We were not.
You smile about everything.
We were not going to have auditions. I just did not feel comfortable saying, "Thank you very much for coming out. That was very nice. We'll call you."
Yeah.
So we just relied on individuals saying, "This person has talent. Put them in the show."
So you're never thinking of a title of Mountain Ranch, Not Everyone Has Talent, huh?
Well, Mountain Ranch maybe has talent. Sounds like a good title for the show. We'll find out the week before. The first week that we did it, the first year that we did it, we didn't really know what we were doing. We just kind of followed what Moke Hill had done before, and they had a whole bunch of rehearsals. So we just said, we'll have one rehearsal the week before the show goes on, and in that week, if people still need to do some work, we'll tell them, you ought to tune this up a little bit or something like that. It came out fine. These are professional individuals. Maybe if not professional, they're talented. They practice, they rehearse, they get ready for this show.
But they're mostly business people around Mountain Ranch, or are they entertainers?
No, well, some of them actually are entertainers. Some of them are parts of bands and things like that, or play. We have a couple of venues. The Blunder Inn had karaoke night or night in the bar, and there's another group that meets up in Sheep Ranch every Tuesday. They play up there in one of the buildings up there at 9 o'clock on Tuesday nights. You can go up there and you can find all kinds of great talent up there. So I just went up there and I sort of checked that out, and I went to the Blunder Inn and I just kind of look around and
Scouting for talent, of course.
Yeah.
Scouting for
talent
yes,
scout.
Of course, yeah.
Talent scout, exactly.
We've heard about you in Hollywood.
Yes, and so
We have
it was with a
students,
prayer.
too.
It was with a prayer and a hope that these people had talent, and sure enough, they did have talent. And You know, Mountain Ranch is a wonderful place. They're not going to get too serious about this thing, but you know, when you got a dog in the show that walks around in an outfit and
You say the dog was an announcer?
walked around. No, the
Oh.
dog walked around in
Oh, I
some
thought
kind
you had a
of some
talking
kind of
dog.
Costume, it was a costume
Oh, yeah.
costume,
dog,
right?
Okay.
In an outfit, right?
and it did tricks.
Oh, wow.
See,
Yeah,
you didn't know
dog
we had that
tricks.
kind
it was
of
like
talent.
it was like the Letterman show, you know, dog tricks,
Stupid pet tricks. Huh?
stupid pet tricks.
But he was pretty smart,
Oh,
evidently.
it was the hit of the show. They thought he was great, and
And he's a local resident?
yeah, he lives right there in Mountain Ranch, right there in Mountain Ranch. We had people who were doing fire hoop dancing and bands and dancers and big production acts.
And students, we had some of the students from the high school who played a musical instrument.
Yeah.
That's
and
true.
recited poetry. So we try to involve any age that can get up there
That's
and
good.
perform.
Well, it sounds like, actually a lot of fun, and that's,
is
of
a
course,
lot of
the way
fun.
it's designed.
Oh, it's a heck of a lot
Yeah.
of fun. The people of Mountain Ranch really come together in order to support the scholarship fund. People come out to this show. We're going to pack this house. We've packed it 3 years, and we've packed it 2 years in a row, and it'll be packed again. It's SRO crowd out there.
Yeah, standing room only, huh?
That's right.
Boy, and now it's $10 to get in, right?
Yeah.
For
$10
adults?
to get in, and you know what? Where can you get a night of entertainment with local people for $10? You
I don't
can't.
know. No, you
go
can't.
see somebody. You go see somebody play. You're gonna pay $50, $100 to see a band play these days.
Yeah.
And these are your neighbors and your friends. People you're
I
gonna
think
see.
that's
You're
what's
gonna
really
see them in the
nice, yeah.
hardware stores the
Yeah.
next day and tell them what a great act they were.
Sounds like a lot of fun. So, of course, Town Hall seats how many?
It seats about 175 for the
Okay.
show, and we get pretty close to that, don't we?
So that's a good source of money
Don't
for
tell
the
the fire
scholarship
chief,
fund.
but I think we get more than 175 in there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is probably the major source, that and the direct mail fundraiser.
Yeah.
But we do other strange things. We give away shaved
Other
ice.
strange things.
And, we always ask for donations, but at the Mountain Ranch Days, we provide shaved ice. We try to get popcorn out to everybody, and we ask for donations if they want to give. We've even once auctioned off a pig. And
Is it?
actually, that was a fairly nice fundraiser. So we haven't done that in recent years. But, any way we think of that's legal and moral and pleasant, we'll try to raise money.
And where's the pig now?
I think it's in someone's stomach.
Or somebody's freezer.
And
Or
you-
freezer.
Freezer, okay. You said this was all moral.
Yes.
The
What
pig
can I
may not
say?
agree with
no,
you.
Yes, the pig might have a problem with that.
Now, how many acts do you have this year, Jim?
Well, we had 12 acts last year, and we got excoriated by somebody in our local newspaper. Do you even know that Mountain Ranch has a local newspaper? It's called
No.
the Miner's Pick.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, Faye Cook is the editor, and she's been doing this for I don't know how many years, and it comes out once a month.
Once a
Everybody
month?
feeds her information, and it's like the Enterprise comes out twice a week. Well, this thing comes out once a month, and it's where you get the news in Mountain Ranch. And yeah, somebody said the show was a little bit too long last time, and people didn't get home.
Now, you're starting at 6:30 this year, right?
starting
at
So-
6:30,
So
and-
people should get out about what time?
We're saying 8:30 to 9 o'clock. I'm not really sure, but that's the plan. We've got 8 acts this year. I'll tell you about them. We've got 4 musical acts. We've got Dave. Want me to show you one of these pictures here?
Yeah.
This is Dave. This is Dave Bristor and Sue Hinojosa.
Are they
they're
a married couple? Or,
I'm not
I
sure
don't
whether
think
they're
so.
married or not.
They're
They
an
might be
unmarried
or
couple.
not.
I think they're an unmarried couple, exactly.
They're in a band called Daveview, and they play around the area, and they're going to be one of our musical acts. We also have, here's another one, Ron Brown. Ron Brown played the accordion 2 years ago. This guy's got the fastest fingers on the keyboard and the chords you've ever seen. This guy will play and play and play. He'll be worn out. He'll be out of breath by the time he's done.
Used to be a blackjack dealer in Vegas, right? Fast with the cards.
Is he in this year's? Is he coming back?
Yeah, he's coming back this
Oh, he's
year.
gonna
He's going to
play
be
it.
He
Yeah.
looks very distinguished, actually. He's in business there. He's a business. businessman?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what he
I
does.
think he's retired.
Oh, is
yeah.
that right? But he is a good player.
He's fabulous. He's been playing the accordion for decades.
Wow.
We have a woman named Gay Hakola Maloney, who's a piano player from the area. She's a singer in
Mountain Melodies.
Mountain Melody. I almost said Mountain Misery. Mountain Melody. And she's going to be playing the piano. And
We have a guitar and mandolin player.
oh yes, I almost forgot them. How could I forget
I
forget
know,
them? There's a man who plays a mandolin. His name is Link Russin. He's related to
Somewhat
Susie.
related to me.
Yes,
Yes.
what type of relationship?
He's my husband.
Yes.
It's good you both have the same last names. That's good.
It makes it easy,
Nice
doesn't it?
arrangement.
Yes.
And he's going to be playing the mandolin with Gordon Rowland, who is a classical guitar player and teacher and composer and director. This is going to it's going to be a very classy act.
Actually, mandolin and guitar, that's a nice sound.
It's beautiful.
Very
And I
nice.
have heard them practicing, and it will be quite lovely.
Oh, that
See,
is
this is
nice.
how we get recommendations for it. Someone says, "Yeah, I think they'll sound pretty good," and so we put them in the show.
Oh, that's good. Now let's see, you've covered what,
That's
4 acts?
4 acts. And then we have 4 other acts, non-musical acts. We have Chris Carson, who was in the first show also. He's a juggler and a magician, and he's also a unicyclist. And as long as he doesn't fall on any of the crowd, I think that'll be a great act.
Well,
and if he does, it'll just be
incorporates
exciting.
doing those together, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that he can juggle and unicycle at the same time. I'm not really sure. Once again, I've never seen him do it, but I hear that he's pretty good.
Actually sounds, that's not easy to do.
No, it'll be a lot of fun. We have a young lady named Jen Horner who's a resident of Mountain Ranch, and she's a belly dancer. There's one to come out and see. She's not only belly dancing, maybe with her troupe of belly dancers, but she's got her daughter belly dancing and her mother belly dancing. This is 3 generations of belly dancers. Can't
You
beat
think
that.
you can
Can't beat
stomach that? No, sorry. No, but I'm sorry. This sounds like so much fun, though. I'm
is.
trying to behave myself.
It is. I hope you'll come out and see it.
Well, that on that March 29th. Okay.
March 29th. We got 2 more acts. We've got Jackson Baker. Jackson Baker is a local resident, lived there for a couple of years, and he came and he said that he's got a comedy act that'll have people rolling in the aisles. It's kind of a British comedy, and I hope it goes over in Mountain Ranch. It might be a little irreverent, but we think that he'll add a new flavor to the talent show. And our last act is, I'm not going to tell you.
Oh, you're not going to tell me?
Big
It's a
production
surprise.
act, big production act.
Beyonce.
Nemo goes to the Olympics. Just think
Oh, yes, this is
Nemo
the
goes to
climax of the show, and
yeah,
it
the
is
climax of the show.
worth staying around for.
Yes, leave them laughing.
Wow.
It'll be a hoot. It stars
Yes.
some of the members of our community in a show that you just got to come out and see.
Now, the acts, is there an MC for this, or they just come out one after
I'm
another?
so glad you asked that because I'm not the MC. I got out of it this year. This is really wonderful. We have a
You'd
guy.
be a good MC, though, I'll bet.
Well, it was okay. We have a guy
Very humble.
on the
Committee.
on the scholarship committee named Ron Morrison.
Mm-hmm.
And he raised his hand at the wrong time, too. And he said that he would write a script to go in between the acts.
For the interact.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to change the acts out.
Nice
so we have something
transitions.
going
Yes,
on.
exactly.
The transitions, that's right. We got to change the stage out. And he has written a radio drama about Harley and Charlie, who are 2 radio announcers who,
You would enjoy this.
yes,
Yeah, maybe I can learn something.
they have a call-in show, and all kinds of people from the community call in, and even some people call in who are dead. And there's a mystery involved with Mountain Ranch. And I'm not going to tell you more about that either. You just got to come out and see this, too. So that's going to be a nice addition to the show.
It's good. Now, what are the facilities there at Town Hall? How can you get really good audio? You have a good audio system?
We've got a fabulous audio
best.
man, Sam Cook.
Yes.
Faye's husband.
Sam Cooke, he'd be a good act, I think.
You know what? I think maybe we could just sneak him in at the end. I don't see any reason why we couldn't do that. We just have an encore by Sam.
That'd be good.
You
know,
can turn up all the sound.
I have to tell you, Sam's got the toughest job in the show because the sound. The show runs on the sound. I mean, we just
Sure.
got lights and a
Yeah,
stage.
you need really good sound for a variety of acts.
Yes.
Especially in a large hall, you know, with a
Sure,
lot of activity.
so everybody can hear, and there might be
Yep.
some older people, or, you know, you got to make sure everybody can hear.
Exactly.
Yeah, we got a really great hall. It's big. We got a stage. The stage will be all decorated. We've got lights and curtains and action, and you know, it's kind of a professional little show. We'll serve refreshments at the
Halftime.
break, right?
Intermission.
Free popcorn,
At intermission.
right?
You said shaved ice, do you have that there too?
We won't have that there.
Okay.
No, it's too messy. We usually do that outside. That
Oh, okay.
works
During
out
the
better.
summer, huh?
In the summer, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Well, that's pretty, so like 4 acts and then a break, and then 4 or something like that?
Right. We're figuring the whole thing will take a couple hours.
Yeah, now, you have had 1 rehearsal?
No, we haven't had a rehearsal. We always have one rehearsal. It's the week before the show. So on the 22nd, everybody will come to the town hall. We'll line them up. We'll check the sound out, show them the curtains, show them how to get in and out, on and off the stage, kind of rehearse the radio show that's going to be in between, and get some information about them, write up the program, and we'll have it ready for the show a week later.
that's good.
And then we do it.
Oh, it sounds good, and then it'll be such a success, then you'll move out of town and be a producer in some big city.
I don't think that. I don't think so. You know, people who live in Mountain Ranch tend to stay in Mountain Ranch. It is a wonderful community. It is a vibrant community.
Well, you and I talked a couple weeks ago on the phone, and you said it's just so active, a lot of things going on, huh?
There are so many
There's
things
something
going on.
almost every weekend.
Yeah.
There is something going on. The community club is a wonderful asset. They have monthly meetings. They bring speakers. They have meals. There's a quilting club. There's a garden club. There are book clubs. I mean, it is just amazing the
Seems
things
like
that go on.
every individual in Mountain Ranch is in some sort of organization.
We like to think so. We
Yeah.
like to think so. So it's a really wonderful town in that people volunteer to do things. I mean, that's what's so wonderful about the scholarship committee. I joined because it was the only committee I knew where everybody was willing to do something.
Yeah.
Rather than, you know, when you sit around and you say, who's going to do this? And everybody's kind of looking down. And
Yeah.
in this committee, everybody wants to do something.
How
It's
many young
wonderful.
people normally apply each year? Susie?
Well, the people that apply almost always get it. We have somewhere between 6 and 10 students
Oh, that's good.
who graduate from the high school that come from Mountain Ranch. It varies from year to year.
Uh-huh.
Some of the students also are from Mountain Oaks. It's
Yes.
it's a homeschool. So
Oh, good.
and anybody who's any graduating senior who's gone through a program is we
eligible.
want them to apply. We
Yeah.
try to get the word out there that you know. What it is it's the community saying we value you. You're one of us. We want you to get a good start when you go off to college, and we'll do everything we can in order to accommodate you because you know we care about you. It's a really caring community in that respect. We've got a ballpark. A lot of these kids who are graduating, they've gone through sports at the ballpark. They played t-ball out there and baseball out there, and they start out playing soccer at the ballpark. We interview all of the students before we give them a scholarship, and the one thing that they say about living in Mountain Ranch that they really appreciated is they had a childhood.
Yeah,
When they-
like it should be, huh?
Yeah, you can't build a fort on a telephone pole, but you can build a fort or a house in a tree, and they have trees and fields and streams and lakes out there to play in, and they really appreciate the fact that you know, they grew up in a nice, healthy environment out there. I feel very fortunate that, you know, 30 years ago, Phil Alberts sort of conned me into buying a piece of property out there, and he did me a great favor. And, you know, I was able to raise a family out there. They received scholarships, and it's one of the reasons that people get involved in the communities because they appreciate all that there is there.
Good, and evidently talking with you both tonight and having so much fun and hearing about the show. people who move somewhere or go away to college, they have a good sense of humor.
They have a very good sense of
Yeah.
humor. But we have kids who are now working with autistic children. We have a counselor in a school in Oakland. We have a young man who's going to study medicine. He's now at the University of Pennsylvania. We have a young woman who is at Wesleyan in Connecticut, and she's in the theater program. So these kids go off and they do really extraordinary things. And we try to sort of follow them a little bit because we feel like we want to support them, as Jim said,
Sure.
in any way we can. So we really have some very accomplished students, and you know, we feel glad that we can be able to do a little something for them.
What we find out about the kids who grew up in mountain ranches, they're self-starters, and they can get along where other people have difficulty getting sort of getting their act together and getting their act going.
Yeah.
Mountain ranch people become sort of self-sufficient. They're the ones who had to grow up in maybe slightly difficult situations. I mean, it's a pretty rural place out there, but you know, when it comes time to get something done, they just go out and do it. They get it going.
Well, you two are getting a lot of things done. Now, we did put up the phone number. I think I was kidding with you guys so much tonight that I didn't see if we put up a phone number if people wanted information.
If they want to
about the
call
show.
me up and give me information, ask me any questions.
Okay, there it is, 209-754-5543.
You know, the other thing is if they have talent and they live in the mountain ranch area, I'd love to have them call me
Watch
up.
out for Jim.
Yeah,
That's right.
because I write those things down.
He'll recruit you.
Yeah, next year I had 2 people call up just in the last couple of days that wanted to be in the talent show, and I was sorry to have to tell them that, you know, we're full for this year, but next year we'll be getting back
ready.
to them.
Once we figure out what we're going to call it,
Yeah,
then
that's
we'll
a-
start recruiting
well,
people.
I'll look forward to next year to see what you come up with. But just a reminder out there, the show's coming up March 29th. The doors open or the show starts at 6:30.
Get there early.
And,
Show starts at 6:30.
Tickets are on sale at the door.
Tickets are on sale at the door.
Yes.
That's the good, logical place. It's good, boy. It's good to see you both, and it's nice to see, hear of things happening at Mountain Ranch. And
Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak about
my
this.
pleasure. It's
We love
just so
that
much fun
community.
to talk to you.
Thank
So there went a half hour. So we'll see you next time on Calaveras Living, and get out and see the show in Mountain Ranch on March 29th.